Got four very exciting announcements to make for you. And some of these are going to be free, so don't worry. You're going to get them on YouTube and TikTok, and these are those, especially if you're frustrated with your pension returns. I've always made it a mission to make sure people have access to the kinds of information that we hedge fund managers only have, or the people from the big elite banks like Goldman Sachs only have. I started doing that when I wrote this, one of my 18 books, 20 years ago. So this is what I'm bringing you. We're going to go through the hedge funds which have delivered at least 40% per annum for the last 3 years. Then we're going to go through their most significant holdings, and this is launch number one. We're going to then put them through our filters to see which of their current holdings remain undervalued, high growth, projection which is reasonable, of a 40% return over 12 months, so continuing that track record, high sortinos, high alphas, high cash return on capital invested. So our filters plus the hedge funds, what a collaboration for those 40% returns, and a reward to risk of 2 to 1. In other words, somewhere where you could put an exit at half that reward level, so 20% from entry, basically. That's new. That's not the only thing. On top of that, what we're also going to do is what I call tactical momentum intermediate term investments. These are for people who want to hold things for 3 to 5 months, not 12 months, like the previous one, like the hedge funds, and like most of my investment holdings, 3 to 5 months. And these are just purely momentum based, but again, a projection to the upside, which is double the reward to the risk, and clear exits. So you've got a shorter time frame with these, clear momentum on them, projections, which give you 2 to 1 reward to risk as well. As always, all investing carries risk. The third launch is this: elite bank wealth stock buys. In other words, the biggest banks which provide the picks for their highest net worth clients. Basically, Goldman Sachs Wealth Management, Barclays Wealth Management, all the ones you see on screen, JP Morgan. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to, again, put them through our filters, most importantly. So we take their selections, the ones that they've just announced for 12-month holds. We're going to then look if they can pass our filters and a projection forward of 40% with a reward to risk of 2 to 1 for a 12-month hold period. If we think they can't, in other words, if we think the banks are wrong, we ditch them. And of course we think our filters are correct, if we think that based on what they've said and what our filters say, it is reasonable, then we'll put an exact exit at the bottom end, and you've got the upside as well. Now, all of this, plus number 4, I'll tell you that in a minute, will be free for all the people on the Great Investments program. If they're not on the program, I'll occasionally mention these on YouTube and TikTok, so make sure you like and follow me on there if you want to hear them in my weekly updates now and again. There won't be the full list, obviously, there, but I'll mention 1 or 2. The fourth thing, exchange traded funds. People usually want a basket of stocks with low downside volatility, and what we've done is applied the same filters we did with the stocks. Low downside volatility, in other words, high sortinos, high alphas. And we said, well, what about exchange traded funds with volatility under 10%? So less volatility than the average stock. Which ones can project forward? Which have the momentum? Which have the high sortino, the high alpha? Okay, narratively makes sense as well. And we can get a reward double the risk on a 12-month horizon and a tight stop loss. Those 4 launches, the hedge funds, the wealth manager banks, the intermediate term ones as well, all of those launched as of this week. If you're on the Great Investments program, you've already seen them. If you're not, follow me on LinkedIn and TikTok and you'll see more of it. If you want a ton of free resources, have a look at alpeshpatel.com/links, including my campaign for 1 million to teach 1 million people how to be better investors and make an extra million in their portfolios over their lifetimes and improve their pensions. The time of speaking, the S&P is up over 30% in the past 12 months. If your pension isn't, maybe you should be looking at something like these offerings. As I said, I want to lift the door, or knock the door down even, on the closed space, which has been only for the ultra high net worth. So if you needed to get the hedge fund stuff, you had to be a client of a hedge fund. Well, retail can't do that. If you wanted to get the wealth management stuff, well, 50 million and they'll give you those. And the problem was very often these weren't filtered enough anyway. They weren't bespoke enough for the retail client, because the retail client has to just make do with mass market stuff, as they always do in everything else in life. Well, what if somebody could get access to all that data, which I have access to, and then add even tighter filters and then offer it to you. That's the goal. Don't worry if you're not on the Great Investments Program. Some of the free stuff I'll sprinkle now and again on YouTube and TikTok. If you'd like to be on the program, have a look at alpeshpatel.com/links, because we're launching these 4 new offerings. And we think it's a great innovation in financial services to be able to do this using modern technology. The price of the Great Investments Program will be going up, but don't worry, it's going to remain a one-off for life. So that's the plus side to go with it. Thank you very much. I look forward to speaking to you on social media, I guess. Thank you.